Now the facts are plain for all to see, or so it seems to me. Like the leaves upon the branches of that big old pine tree. We could be distant cousins long before we sail the seas. But there's not a lot of money selling genealogy.
We're back, and we're back in a new location. It's Manfred's guitar. We're visiting the bean scene in Vernon today, and it looks like this beastie is in tune, and those of you that are at home, have a moment to watch this. I hope you enjoy the show. Today, a few more originals, and you'll probably notice that I have help again. On my right, which is your left, Dustin S has come all the way from Lake Country to help Manfred in his moment of need. And we're going to do a number that I wrote quite some time ago with a simple title, Where Do I Go From Here? Well, here's a little song I can't forget. It hasn't got a name, it's from the hole in my head. I think my baby loves me, but I'm not quite sure. Across the sea, tried to put some space between my baby and me, but on the rock of Gibraltar she was waiting for me. Oh boy, where do I go from here? Well, I don't need your love that bad, 'cause all you ever do is make me mad, and it brings me right down. Where do I go from here? Downtown Barcelona, there's a little hotel. I'm sure she won't find that I had trouble myself, but I dropped the fancy yo-yo beside the front door. Oh boy, where do I go from here? She caught me in the lobby, dragged me off to her room, and chased me round the table, beat my head with the broom, tied me to the bedpost and tickled my feet. Where do I go from here? Well, maybe I should do a little solo in here. woke up the next morning with a runaway blues. Oh, I didn't get far. She put lead in my shoes. She tied me to the bedpost and tickled my feet. Where do I go from here? Well, now I had to find the preacher and I had to find the ring, so I took myself to town for one last fling. But a German shepherd caught me, dragged me off to the church. And there's nowhere to go from here. Original songs, hard to come by. They take a little bit of a time to work up. You write and 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 you erase and you erase and you erase. And it reminds me a little bit of a song challenge that I undertook several years ago with Steve Gosling, who used to live in Vernon and is now in Cranbrook, down south of us here. And I'd like to do this song, but not right away because I have to talk to Allan the Alien and brush up on the ukulele lesson that he left me with a few days ago. So we'll change costumes, change instruments, and don't touch the channel flipper just yet. We're back. We had a change of instruments, and I'm continuing with my ukulele lessons according to Allan the Alien. And last time we did this, I got pretty close to getting it right. This time we should improve it. It's the English alphabet backwards, and if you're an adult, this is a great trick to play on your kids. Well, keep up with your schoolwork. Z, Y, X, and W, V, U, T, S, and R, Q, P, O, N, M, O, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, and A. And you want more? You had me working on a little bit of a 12-bar blues, and I should play 12-bar blues on the ukulele. That's a little bit too much, but let's see what he shoved into my system last week. So thank goodness I've got some help. I've got Dustin. So if you have a guitar at home, we're in the key of A, D and D, a 1-4-5 progression, and he wants me to do a little bit of 12-bar blues as a warm-up for another song. Right there. Yes? You're holding in there. Thanks for the help. We'll work on something again for the next time. That's a long distance shot of Ken Ashby's first book of poetry that he wrote when he was in the hospital after recovering from a car crash where he was a quadriplegic for many, many years. And I talked about Ken Ashby from the town of Burkes Falls, which is 100 kilometers, 100 miles north of Toronto, because I grew up in the same town. We grew up in the same pool room. I'll take a moment, just a moment, to read you a little bit about the man in the wheelchair. It means a lot to me. The introduction to his first book of poetry is a little bit like this. Look at me, and what do you see? Many people only see the wheelchair. A lot of people believe that I belong in an institution. A few don't. Some people recognize me as a man with complete human needs and desires, to love and to be loved, to work and to take pride in my work, and to be proud of myself and at peace with the world. I'm going to bypass 1, 2 paragraphs and read the last paragraph. I guess that I will always dream of Burkes Falls and Muskoka. You know, Huntsville is up there, and the Dion quintuplets are a little bit further. You probably know that. That's Callander, just south of North Bay. I guess that I will always dream of Burkes Falls and Muskoka. However, I will always live in Parkdale. That's a hospital. I will write and I will be happy. Several of my poems have now been set to music. These are country songs. Man in a Wheelchair is one of them. They were written and sung by Dan Antonio and myself. In time, some of the others will become completed songs. May the sunshine of life be with you at all times. As mentioned before, a long, long, long time ago, before I encountered the goodness of Rogers in Vernon, I was doing a program for Rogers in Toronto, and this song was done and sung by Dan Antonio. I've rearranged the music a little bit to suit myself, and mentioned last month that I would continue with this song. So I'm a little bit further along with this, and I'd like to take a poke at my read of Man in a Wheelchair. If you've got a guitar, and if you're at home, I'm in the key of A. Chords are A, D. There's a D minor and an F sharp major. Man in a Wheelchair, a slightly new arrangement. He's a man in a wheelchair, and his life's been turned around. He can't do all the things he'd like to do. He tries to understand, and he does the best he can to be part of our world again. wheelchair, and I owe you 2 more verses and another chorus, and maybe at some point an instrumental. Still in the key of A, and still using the same rubber string guitar. And Dustin is with me all the way from Winfield. And yes, we do have another thing to do right after this. We're actually playing in a local pub after this shoot here. So I'm a little bit excited, but being a little bit bold and brave, I would like to take this moment to try something that's maybe, all right, a little bit difficult for me. I'd like to try to play an instrumental of a 12-bar blues. It's a substitute solo that is played at slow speed, but I will be proving this when I get to be able to do something like Blue Suede Shoes. But so this is a solo, and once again, the key of A, if you have your guitar at home, we're in A, D, and E. I'm just going to wander through with Dustin helping me on the chords and try and pick the beast out after that. On this one, you can wish me luck. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, the chords. Thanks for hanging in. That's a new work. It may not sound that complicated, but it's a beast to get it right on the second take. And at this point, I'm going to just play a little bit of a tango for you, a complete change. A minor. Hi, we're back again. Did I say we? Yes, we. There are 3 people here. And I've been with you since 1993. And I've been driving this Manfred's guitar thing for quite some time. I've had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, but one of the greatest things that I'm really, really proud and happy to declare is the unending support of what was Shaw TV and what is now Rogers TV. But take a look at the left side of your screen. That should be a picture of the guy with the beard and the big giant violin. And if you're new to this, and I haven't introduced you to him before, the young man that is helping me all the time, he used to be a former guitar student, and he was a very cagey guy. He tricked me, and I became a member of the Okanagan Valley Big Band as their guitar player. And I don't know how I'm surviving all the headaches with the charts, but I digress. I'm obfuscating. What I really want to do is say hello to Dustin with Allan. Hello, Dustin.
Hello, Allan. How have you been?
Well, I think I've been fine. Thank you very much for bailing me out all the time.
You're most welcome, Allan. You would do it for me as well.
Yeah, a lot of your time is spent learning and studying. And I wonder if just for a couple of moments before we do a number that he wants to hear, I'd like you to spend a couple of moments discussing something off the top of your head to these people that are watching you. I get you to play all the time for me. I would like you to speak and say something to the people out in Rogers Land. Would you do that?
Well, of course.
Introduce yourself a bit. What do you do?
Well, my name is Dustin Schmauder. I'm the father of 3 lovely, lovely children, 2 twins. They're 3 years old, Isabel and Ava, and my son Arlo, who actually got his name from, most people think it's from The Good Dinosaur, but it's actually Arlo Guthrie. He's one of my heroes, and so when we were thinking of names, I thought it should probably be the guy who wrote Alice's Restaurant.
And you are a school teacher.
I am.
Where does that happen, Dustin?
That happens in West Bank.
I want you to do the Martian National Anthem. Get cracking, sonny. Okay, so here we go. Can you hold this over there for a little bit?
Again.
Yeah, that's great. So we're going to do the national anthem without words. And for little children, they only use 1 finger. You'll notice they have 2 fingers on each hand. So we begin like this. So adults get to use 2 fingers, and they play it twice as fast. Martian National Anthem, verse 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just about ready to wind it up, and you can say goodbye to Dustin now, and you can also take the time to come and visit the bean scene, which is in Vernon, because that's where I get my coffee in the Rogers cup.
Now the facts are plain, for all to see, or so it seems to me. Like the leaves upon the branches of that big old pine tree, we could be distant cousins long before we sail the seas. But there's not a lot of money selling genie